In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. There's no space that His love can reach. There's no place where we can't find peace. And there's no end to amazing grace. Take me in with your arms spread wide. Take me in like an orphan child. Never let go, never leave my side. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. Good morning. So beautiful. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Yeah. We let the love wash over. All the joy wash over us. We let it be. Let it be. We let Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let the love be.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm Reverend John Riley, Senior Minister of Unity Palo Alto Spiritual Center, and I'd like to welcome you to our live celebration service. We're so glad that you're with us here this morning. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Give yourselves a big round of applause wherever you are. We're so grateful that you're here today. Unity is a worldwide, inclusive spiritual movement, welcoming people from all walks of life. People are looking for a deeper experience of spirit, a greater expression of health, wholeness, and abundance. People are looking for spiritual growth, transformation, or to simply live better lives. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Margot LeDuc as our soloist, Ronnie Beck on drums, Russell Norman on piano, and I'm going to take just one moment, to light our candle, representing that light that is ever burning within you. As we begin our service with our opening song.
I'm in the right place at the right time. And I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. And I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. And I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. And I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Thank you, Margot. Please be seated. Well, good morning and welcome. Unity is part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education that helps people from all walks of life apply positive, practical spiritual principles in their life every day so that you can live a more joyful and abundant life. Unity is a spiritual movement that is based on 5 core principles. And the first principle, God is. There is only one presence and one power active in our life and in the universe, God, the good omnipotence. And whether you call it God or isness or divine mind, that one presence and the power is the substance and intelligence innate in every person. And that's our second principle, that each of us is created with that divine inspiration, that divine spark that's within you. Our third principle is what we call the law of mind action. And that says the things that we think about and give great attention to become the lens through which we see our world, and so that becomes the experience of our world. And so when we align our thoughts, our words, and our actions with that one presence and one power, we have the ability to transform our life and to transform the world. And the most effective way to become aligned and available is through the practice of meditation and affirmative prayer. Meditation and prayer allows that creative, constructive power of God to move in, through, and as you. And as we do this on a daily basis, as we make this a part of our life, that is our fifth principle, the practical application, then it becomes a part of I'm looking at the wrong screen. Oh my gosh, I'm way ahead. The practical application that becomes a part of who we are when we apply them in our lives. And so unity is about practicing those things so that they can become active in our life, and we can become who we were created to be, living expressions of the image of God, which unity calls the Christ. And as we use these principles daily, we are able to create a vision that we have here at Unity Palo Alto, and I'd like you to affirm that with me. Together, centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all, and so it is. We now continue our service with the call to worship.
Presence of the Lord is in this place. I can see God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Today's daily word is inspiration. I'll read our affirmation once and then invite you to affirm it with me. I move in harmony with the creative flow of inspiration. Would you affirm that with me together? I move in harmony with the creative flow of inspiration. Sometimes I feel inspired by the words of others, and sometimes I'm inspired more by action. Today I take my inspiration from the story of Charles Fillmore, a businessman who marveled at his wife's healing from serious illness. This prompted him to embark upon an intense period of prayer, meditation, and study that led to the founding of Unity in 1889, which has become a global spiritual community. I take this story to heart and find my inspiration in my feelings of awe and wonder, love, or even healthy curiosity. Feeling an awakening of inspiration within me, I center my awareness on God. Divinely inspired, I move in harmony with the creative flow that blesses the work of my mind, my heart, and my hands. From Job chapter 32, verse 8, but truly is the spirit and immortal, the breath of the Almighty that makes for understanding. And so it is.
You call me out upon the water, the great unknown, where feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed and you won't stop now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours and you are mine. Let me walk upon the water wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of your Spirit. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the water wherever you will call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of your Spirit. Your Spirit. Lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk, let me walk, let me walk upon the water. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of your Spirit.
Thank you, Margot. Good morning. Well, today's talk is always praying, and if you needed an example, that was it. They say when you sing, you're praying twice, so thank you, Margot, for leading us in that prayer. We're so grateful. Prayer. Everyone say it. Prayer. Together? Yeah, okay, so how many of you kind of got a little itchy? Thank you. Yeah, sometimes we get a little itchy. When you think about that word prayer, what does it mean to you? Anybody? Gratitude. Wonderful. Thank you, Sherry. Faith. Thank you, Christine. Yeah. Presence, forgiveness. You are all good Unity students. Sometimes, though, when we hear that word prayer, it reminds us of that word that we learned when we were kids. It reminds us of that idea that we had when we were kids, right? Anyone hear that prayer now? I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. ... And in our society, we have this idea of prayer as being this thing that we're praying to God out there to help us with something, to fix something in the world. My favorite example of that is, Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all have Teslas, so give me a eco-friendly Mercedes-Benz, if you will. I don't know if those exist, but you see, that's one kind of prayer, right? Where it's a beseeching prayer, it's an asking prayer, it's a praying to something that's out there, hoping that something out there will make something different in here or in my world. Now, in Unity, we take a different approach to prayer. There are beseeching prayers, there are prayers of gratitude, there's contemplative prayer, which is very similar to the silence. There is affirmative prayer, which Unity practices. And in affirmative prayer, we're not asking for something out there to do something for us or give something to us. Rather, we're affirming the truth of the power that's within us to move forward. That's within us to heal. That's within us to have a healthy relationship. That's within us to connect with all life, love, and wisdom. Now, in Unity, Charles Fillmore defined prayer as the highest form of mind action. So think about that for a moment. Mind action, that's our thinking, right? That's the things that we think and we say and we do. That's the activity of this brain thing that's going on. And the highest form of that consciousness is the activity of prayer. Now, so often for us, we're coming at it from a different perspective. We're either at the rock bottom, right, and we're trying to lift ourselves up. So our consciousness is anything other than that highest state of consciousness within us. It could be at the lowest state, but at that lowest state comes the letting go. So even at that state, you can achieve that high mind action when we let go. So as we move into this talk, what I would like you to do is to practice the idea of first emptying your cup of what you think prayer is, of just letting it go, so that we can open ourselves to potentially a new possibility, a new understanding within us. Can you do that for me? Raise your hands if you feel comfortable with that. Great. Almost everyone. That's really good. I can't see you at home, but I'm sure you're raising your hands out there too. So as we empty our cup about this idea of prayer, let us look at it from a new perspective. It's really about raising our consciousness. We had a quote last week from, I believe it was Corinthians, but the quote was, "In all things, pray always, and in all things be grateful." Pray always. Pray always, and in all things be grateful. That doesn't mean that we're always going away and being in the silence all the time. But it means we're having that higher consciousness. So prayer is really about raising our consciousness first and foremost. That's the first step in it. And the way we're going to practice that and look at it today as a method of prayer is how we looked at this last 5 weeks and apply that to a prayer practice. Now I say a prayer practice because there's no wrong way to pray. Right? Unity has their 5-step prayer practice or an affirmative prayer practice, and other people have their prayer practices. And for the people who use them, it works. But there is no real one way to pray. All we're doing is raising our consciousness to that level. Now, what I found to be very effective is Unity's affirmative way to pray. And so what we do, the first step is to empty our cup. Whenever we have a problem, whenever we have a concern, whenever we have a goal or something that we're trying to achieve, whatever it is that's in our life that we're, getting hung up on, or we want some assistance, or we want some help with, anything that we're trying to accomplish, First, empty your cup about it. Here's the situation in our lives. Empty your cup about it so that you can be filled up with new possibilities. The second step, of course, is to celebrate the divine in all things. To celebrate the divine here and present now. In Unity, we teach that God is everywhere present and within you, like the ocean is within a wave. So celebrate that presence. Celebrate that activity of spirit, that energy of spirit as it flows, as the ocean has currents that flow underneath it, that flow within it. That's the current of spirit. Celebrate that flow. That's the second step, is just to be in it. And the third step is to know and start to identify yourself with it. Start to identify the I amness that's within you. The I am, that higher consciousness that's within you, that begins to be lifted up when we identify ourselves. Because if God is everywhere present in, through, and as you, if the Spirit is the activity of your life that flows through you, then you are it. That's the truth of who you are. That's your higher consciousness. And we may look at it from that perspective of consciousness, of ideas, of thoughts, of being our higher self, our better self, of being aware of those things. That's the I amness. And we can live from that every day. So we empty our cup, we celebrate the divine, we identify with our I amness, and then comes the realization. Then comes the affirmative prayer treatment. Then comes, because we've raised our consciousness to the highest form of mind action, and then we apply a truth principle. And in Unity, we apply affirmative principles that say, I am one with the divine flow of life, love, and wisdom. I am one, spiritually whole in this moment. We're focused less so much about the Mercedes-Benz at this point, right? It's more about the beingness. It's about how I'm showing up. And in that realization, that's what we can express into the world. And then after that, we give thanks. We say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Whatever term you want to use, we give thanks. And in that thanks, we give thanks for, not for the thing appearing in our lives, but for the consciousness of God, for the consciousness of Spirit. So in prayer, we are, one of my favorite quotes is by Eric Butterworth, where he says, there is no way God can answer your prayers except by changing your consciousness, and God cannot change your consciousness. Only you can do that by becoming in alignment with Spirit. And that is what unity prayer is all about, is becoming in alignment with that Spirit. Oswald Chamber once said, God does not exist to answer our prayers, but by our prayers, we come to discern the mind of God. By our prayers, we come to discern that higher consciousness of who we've come here to be. We've come to discern what's ours to do in any given situation. We receive that inspiration just by becoming open and willing to listen. So we're going to try this in a moment. And as Emily Cady said, the reason we're going to try this, and what she says about it in her book, Lessons in Truth, Emily Cady says, we go apart to get still. That new life, new inspiration, new power of thought, new supply from the fountainhead may flow in. And then we come forth to shed it on those around us, that they too may be uplifted. So what is the benefit? More peace, more joy, less stress, fewer upsets. And when we are upset, the time it takes to recover is shortened. There's so many benefits of sinking into this idea of affirmative prayer. And you may call it something else by any other name. It's fine, because the words aren't really all that important. What you say and what you call and talk about during your prayers really aren't that important. What's important is the emotional energy that you put into it. What's important is the frequency in which you're vibrating and resonating at when you are praying, when you are meditating. That's the important part. And when we talk about the law of the highest mind action, that's when our frequency is at its highest. And when we are there, then we apply our truth and we express life into the world. And this can be done at any point in time. Certainly, the practice is to practice this daily, to take time in the silence, to take time in meditation. And meditation for me is that practice of getting into emptying my cup, relaxing. Meditation is that practice of being in God until I reach that point of silence where it just is. I'm not contemplating it anymore. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm just in it, realizing my I amness in it. And then from that higher consciousness, whatever we think and say and do from that point on is how we experience our life. So if you go into prayer and you're practicing your meditation and your affirmative prayers and you come out of it, and then the first thing you do is start complaining about everyone else and why hasn't this come true yet? I've been praying for you and you haven't changed. Huh. Well, that's what you're affirming. That's where your energy is going, is back into the problem. And so we step away from the problem and step into that consciousness of spirit. So think about something that you've been contemplating. What is it that has been on your mind? What has been frustrating you, or what has been driving you? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to fix? There's something in our lives that just is, maybe it doesn't feel right, or maybe you're striving for a goal and you're really excited about it and you want to keep going. Whatever that is, just bring that to mind for a moment. And now empty your cup about it. Don't worry about the stories. Don't worry about the if only they would, they should. Just empty all of those away. Become present to spirit. Become present to that inner resource that's always flowing, that life, love, and wisdom that flows constantly through you. That breath that is breathing you. As the Daily Word said, the breath of the Almighty, breathing you. Become aware of your oneness with that presence. And as you do, begin to generate that feeling of knowingness, of knowing your oneness, of knowing your experience of that, of feeling that energy vitalizing you, flowing through you, radiating from you, and then expressing out into the world. As we see our consciousness has shifted so that we're in a place where we can more easily be a part of whatever that upset is. We can more effectively be a part of whatever that goal is. We can live into that moment more fully and experience life more fully because we're coming from it from a state and a consciousness of life, love, and wisdom, of knowing God in every moment of the day, of praying every moment of the day because we're living from that consciousness. And when we get knocked down, it's okay. Just come back, empty your cup. Oh, there's my upset. I'm going to empty that cup and I'm going to go back. Be present to God in this situation, in all things. Raise our consciousness back up and move forward. Let's go to our affirmation. I'm going to read our affirmation and then invite you to affirm it with me. And when you affirm it, don't get tripped up by the words, but rather really feel the intention that's behind it. Feel that energy of spirit moving in through and as you. Recognizing the divine all around me, I raise my conscious awareness of the I am within. I align my thoughts, words, and actions with God. Would you affirm that with me together? Recognizing the divine all around me, I raise my conscious awareness of the I am within. I align my thoughts, words, and actions with God. And so it is. Now, as we begin to apply this principle in our lives, you will begin to feel the experience of it. You'll be feeling more gratitude. You will be experiencing more forgiveness. You will be feeling more a sense of peace and joy. You'll be able to see the effect of it in the world and the effect that you have on the world. At Unity, prayer is a fundamental practice. And now that we're coming back together, now that we're starting to, inch our way back to opening to where we're feeling safe as we move through this phase of the pandemic, whatever it looks like, I think it's time for us to start thinking about creating a prayer program. In the past we've had prayer chaplaincy where there was somebody who was trained in prayer and they have a prayer stole, and if you were in need of affirmative prayer, they will be there to lovingly listen. And we're going to start down that path again. I'm going to be holding a prayer class where we'll be diving very deep into expanding our consciousness and understanding these practices and putting them to use and then praying with each other. For the practice is no different when you're praying for someone else or with someone else. You're generating that field of spirit, that energy, that frequency, and you're applying it to someone else. You can pray with somebody from a distance by doing the same thing. You generate that field of spirit within you, that energy that flows, and then you apply it, you surround them wherever they are, and you affirm that for them. What a beautiful practice of holding someone in that prayer energy, of knowing that your thoughts, even if they're not aware of them, can have an effect on their consciousness, on uplifting them so that they can see that divine spark that's within them. And that's what Unity's prayer practice is all about, and that's what we'll be teaching, what I'll be teaching in September. And then as we do that, and as we pray with each other as practice, you can discern if this is a calling for you where you would like to hold someone else in that consciousness as a formal prayer chaplain, then there'll be an opportunity for you to step in that path. Prayer is more than just asking for stuff. Real prayer, for me, as Unity teaches it, is shifting our consciousness on a daily basis so that we are aligned with Spirit and expressing that into the world. And as we do so, we raise the consciousness of humanity and we make a difference in the world. So let's take this into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I'll invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. To close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply soften your gaze. As we move into a place of stillness, as we come apart for a while, with each breath we empty our cup of whatever brought us to this present moment. Whatever fears, whatever concerns, whatever shoulds, we just let them go. Clean out our cup of any resentments so that in this moment we can know God. And with the breath, we acknowledge that presence and power. That loving presence that we experience enfolding us. That infinite power that flows in, through, and as us. That breath that breathes us. With each breath, we know our oneness with that which is. We recognize our I amness in the stillness of the silence. from this higher state of consciousness, knowing our oneness with the divine flow of life, love, and wisdom. We affirm, I am whole, I am one with all of life, I am at peace. I have within me all of the strength, all of the power I need to move through any experience in my life. And in every experience, I find gratitude. Grateful for this opportunity to come together as a spiritual community. Grateful for the opportunity to share my love and my light and my energy with those around me, with those who are on our live stream living from afar. We send our love to each person in our spiritual community. And as we do, we generate a feeling of gratitude for the love that we are receiving from one another, for the energy that is flowing to us constantly. Grateful for every breath. And as we breathe, we give thanks and celebrate by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, we hold this energy of love and appreciation and gratitude as we surround our world and our prayer chest. If you hold someone in prayer, I invite you to bring their name to mind or say their name out loud. For all of the prayers that are in our prayer chest, for all of the prayers that come to us online, we give thanks for the opportunity to share our energy, to share the energy of Spirit with each prayer. We affirm that divine love is doing its perfect work in each situation, and we see each person discovering that spiritual magnificence that is within them, uplifting them, helping them know that they are one. And as we move through this experience of life, we remember this on a daily basis. We surround all of our leaders, our world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, equality, and justice for all people. And for this time together as a spiritual community, we are joyfully grateful. We are richly, richly blessed. And so we say thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. And so it is. Amen. And as we breathe, I invite you to just take a nice, deep, cleansing breath as we return our attention to this space and this time. Prayer is living day to day at the frequency of Spirit. And so every day, let us pray in every way, always. We now take this time to step into our spiritual practice of living in the flow of abundance. There's so many ways in which you can support our spiritual community and bringing this message to the world and the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. We're so grateful. If you're here in the sanctuary, if you're making a love offering today, the love offering baskets are in the back of the sanctuary. When you leave, just simply place your love offering in there. And however you give to Unity Palo Alto, give with love. For it's the manner in which we give. It's that energy that we infuse our gift that we receive from the world. Tenfold, overflowing. So with loving gratitude in your heart, let us say our affirmation, which is on the screen. Together? divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh,
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Thank you, Margot. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. What a wonderful experience and expression of unity. I'll let you know also that in the pews and in the back of the sanctuary and on the tables, we have prayer cards. So if you do have a prayer request, feel free to pick one up, to write your name on it. All prayers are held in confidence here at Unity Palo Alto in our prayer chest, and they're prayed over throughout the month. And then at the end of the month, we send them to Silent Unity. Unity's international prayer, 24-hour by 7 days a week prayer service that has been active for over 125 years continually, where your prayer will be held in the prayer field in the prayer vigil chapel for another 30 days. So I invite you to do that. There are so many ways in which you can participate at here. We've got so many activities in our welcoming and vibrant spiritual community. First off, beginning on Tuesdays, I want you to remind you that on Tuesdays, our own Karen Friedman hosts our Unity Palo Alto Connections. This is a wonderful opportunity to connect, to uplift, to support, and to laugh. We spend time with your spiritual community in a relaxed, open, and inclusive environment. So I invite you to register for that. That's on Zoom, so go to our website. Oops, I need to change the URL on part of that. It's unitypaloalto.org/activities now, and you can find the link for that there. Also, if you love to sing, you will love the Unity Choir on Zoom. Under the direction of Miss Margot Leduc. This is an opportunity for you to get the best vocal training around. She is an incredible vocals trainer. Is that a word? I just made it up. This is a wonderful place for you. There's no experience needed, and if you want to participate, contact Margot directly. This is through Zoom, and she will give you the Zoom information. So her email is on the screen there, voicebymargot@yahoo.com. There are so many ways in which we can celebrate our experience here at Unity. For more information, Check out our website at unitypaloalto.org and all of our social media channels. There are so many ways to connect with us and to share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. Now, if you are new here, if this is your first time with us, either online, if you're online and you're brand new, we'd love for you to pop over to the chat session. Oh, and guess what? We have chat on our website now. So if you're at unitypaloalto.org/live, you can chat directly from there or on our Facebook or YouTube feeds. So pop over there and send a note. If you are here, we'll save our hugs and our elbows. I left it over here on your podium, that's why. So you may remember that we have different name tags. Yellow means elbows, ding. Red means blessings from afar, socially distanced. And green means you're open to hugs and handshakes. So after the service, feel free to get all that out in the courtyard as we move through this. Also, if you're new, there's lots of opportunities I've been asked to let you know. If you want to know what's happening at Unity Palo Alto, we have an information card that's out on the table out there with URLs and links to our prayers, to the connection cards, as well as to give, and all of the activities here, so you can pick that up. We also have a welcome packet for you. So if you're here new in the audience, if this is your first time or you're back from a long absence, we invite you to stand. And it looks like we're all veterans of our spiritual community. So let's give us all a round of applause. Today is the fourth Sunday of the month. And every fourth Sunday, it's an opportunity, and that's the wrong blessing. I forgot to change it. That's okay. I'll do it. I'll tell you, and then we can affirm it. So we bless each other. Y'all want to do that? You sure? And you out there in the world, we can bless each other too. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to invite you to affirm it with me. Me. Can you put the blessing back up? Because I don't remember what it is. Thank you. It's amazing how quickly everyone responds. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ consciousness expressing as you. And so it is. And now I'd like to invite you to stand for our song of peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. As God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
After the service, we'll be holding our online spiritual coffee talk. You're welcome to join me in the sanctuary if you'd like to participate in that. And now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for our people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for our people to say that we don't wanna fight no more.